good. See if it's coming through in the stream. There it is. Alright, cool. Just throw a quick tweet out there. CodinGame. Let's see how that does. Alright, so there's that. And let's talk about where we are. Alright, so if you have not been doing CodinGame at all, you can see my screen up here, and I could probably make that a little bigger. Let's try that. There we go. Well, hang on, that's going to get in the way of the chat. I'll leave it the way it was. Alright. I'm currently in the Bronze League, I believe. So let's get that out of the way. Go to my, yeah, here I am. Bronze League, 1780. And to get here, I just had a hard-coded bot that had a really simple strategy, which was try and grow a new tree if I could, try and score a tree if it was fully built, if it was at level 3, and otherwise, just go ahead and wait was the only option there was. So when we get to bronze, then we get a new rule. So here's basically the rules. You can go grab a starter kit here, which I just did. There wasn't a C# one last week, but now there is, so I snatched one of those to use just to make it easier to do my template. It doesn't have any logic in it. It just kind of breaks down the code into some basic objects for you. Then here's more of the rules. Here's all the directions of things. Here's what size of tree you might have, anywhere from seed to a tree. Here's how nice the soil is from 0 through 3. Trees now cast shadows, which is new. So that's going to be an impact. You can't do anything on days when you're in the shadow, so they will find the shadow on a tree spooky if there's a tree casting a shadow and it looks like this. And the effect of that is that you don't get anything, so at least I think that's the effect, I'm not even sure. The main commands you can choose to do are seed. Command a tree to eject a seed onto a cell within a distance equal to the tree's size. So that's cool, and as your trees get bigger you can throw seeds further away. If you do seed something on a day, both the tree, hey Shady, both the tree and the seed are unusable for the rest of that day, so that's important to know. The really nice thing about this iteration of CodinGame is you don't have to waste a lot of time parsing all the stuff here. Like, they do that for you, and they usually would give you some default code to parse, but more than that, they also give you a list of all your possible moves. So that's pretty nice, which means you don't have to even figure out what all you can do. You can just try and come up with the logic of how to choose the right thing to do. The growing is a big part of the strategy, I think, because you can't just say, well, I'm going to max out how many big trees I have, and then I'll harvest them all in the last day or something. Because the cost goes up as you add more of these trees. So this last parameter here is adding to the cost of doing a grow step based on how many of those trees you still have. So there's some optimal number of trees that perhaps you're supposed to keep, such that you keep that cost in check. And I don't know what that is yet, but I may try and tweak something with that. Of course, another choice is to just implement a Monte Carlo algorithm or something like that, and let that go to town and do a tree search, no pun intended, to figure out what the best options are. I may implement one of those if I have time. Probably not today, but we'll see. So this one, I don't remember what strategy I'm using here, but let's just show some of the strategies I've got, and then we'll start running them and seeing how they do. All right, so the first strategy, let's look at the game. So in the game class has a game state. So I'll move my interface. No, I don't need that. move this interface to its own file so it's easier to find. Alright, so here's the game class. And this came with the starter kit that I used. And basically right here is the class where your action needs to be chosen. And it has all the information it needs here because it knows all the things about what day is it, what's the status of all the cells, what are all my possible actions, how are the trees, etc., etc. So I'm a big fan of dependency injection, strategy pattern, being able to swap out different things. I don't want to have some big chunk of code right here that gets more and more convoluted as I come up with different things to try and tweak and stuff like that. So I'm going to try different things in the form of different strategies. And each strategy will be its own class. And so the very first strategy I implemented was this last action strategy. And so if I uncomment that, put that in here, what this literally does, if we go look at it, is it just grabs the last strategy from the possible actions. Now the reason I chose last and not first is because the first action that it typically gives you is wait, which ends your turn. So if you did a first possible action strategy, it would not be very smart. Hello, Harhai. How's it going? Some more people showing up. Welcome. All right, so let's see what that strategy looks like. Before I show you that, let me show you how I'm actually running this code. So in GitHub, there is this CG compactor project. So I have a fork of it that I know works for me, but you can grab it from the source. He's made a few updates since I did mine. Apparently I'm 7 commits behind the main one, but 1 commit ahead, which is probably just my settings. So I threw that in the chat. What this does is it basically gives you this UI that looks like this, and this is all of the C# files in my Visual Studio solution all concatenated together, so that I can just copy paste them into CodinGame, and I don't have to use their integration support for IDEs, which I have had trouble with, and I don't have to put everything in one file. So that's the output for the compactor. And then here's my actual Visual Studio, which I was already showing you. So the player class is the thing that runs. This is the static void main. It instantiates my game, reads all the input, and then grabs all this information here, which is all just boilerplate. And then this is where it calls get next action. All right. So in get next action, that's where I'll choose my strategy, and that's where that will work. So to run this, I just need to regenerate this. So it regenerated right now, and we'll see somewhere in here where it says game class. Did I just scroll past it? Yes, class game right here. This is my strategy. I'm setting it to be the last action strategy. So copy all that. We'll go back to here, CodinGame, and copy, paste, and play my code. So I already know that the last action strategy is not very good. But we'll look and see what it does. Okay, so you can see if you look at the timeline here when people score. And so you can see blue scores 24, blue scores 23, 22, 21. So they're basically scoring their big trees down here toward the end. Meanwhile, here's the error stream showing what my possible commands are. And so here's the list of commands I could do. I could wait, or I could grow all these things, or I could seed these things. So seed is always toward the end, which means you'll probably see me doing more seeding than I maybe should be. So like there's a seed, seed. And that's obviously not a great strategy, as you can see from the score. So the final score for this, when we're all done, is going to be me losing 121 to 0. So that's not great. Need to patch it to remove the namespace. Is there a namespace in there? Is that an issue? I don't see. I don't have a namespace. I just have using statements. Okay. I see Shady's comment about that. All right, so now let's try a different strategy. So I also made a random strategy, just for the fun of it. So here's what random strategy does, and it just says give me index into the possible things, including wait. So it might decide to wait, even though it could do something useful. And then grab that action and return it. So if we go back to game and we swap this back to the way it was, like that, and then we come over here, regenerate, copy, go back into the game, paste it. I could have just changed it here, I suppose. Play my code. Let's see what it does this time. So being random, there's a very small chance that I'm going to do something intelligent. And there's enough different things you can do that random is not usually a good solution. So it looks like I do actually score something here toward the end, a big 15 points, but I am going to lose quite a bit. And probably if I analyze this, if I analyze one of these where I say I'm going to wait, so I have 5 sun, I think, which I haven't used. I think I could probably have done one of these. I mean, if it's possible, it means I should be able to do it, right? But I chose to wait, so, like, why would I wait when I could have done something? Because random is stupid. So, yeah, here's where we end up. And, I mean, I look like I'm building a pretty good forest here. I mean, look at this. I got big trees. I got plants all over the place. Unfortunately, having plants all over the place is only good for a tiebreaker. The winner is based on your points up here. And I finally throw some points on the board at like the last second and get up 15 to 106. So not great. All right, so let's think what would make more sense as a strategy. So then this one is basically what got me through the wood and bronze leagues, or got me into the bronze league, where I will try and complete a tree if there is one. I'll try and grow a tree if there is one. I'll try and seed. This is new. That wasn't there before. And then we'll do this. Now what I didn't do here is I need to order it. So I need to order by, because I want to do things closer to the center if I can. So if it's a complete action, let me think. No, if it's a seed action. If it's a seed action, I want to do those. Really all of them, I guess. But let's see what the order by looks like. So I want to order by the index of the location that I'm doing. So this will be order by action dot target cell. I guess it would be target cell, right? So order by target cell. So what does that mean? Well, if we look at if we get this out of the way for a second, this is index 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the lowest numbers are right here in the bright green. And then the yellow is everything up in the like 7 through 18 or so. And then after that, everything out here is like 19 through 20. So by doing lowest, I'm going to try and get to the center, which you can see blue did as well. So that seems like a good strategy. And it probably is a good strategy for all these things, right? If I'm going to complete a tree, it should be 1 toward the center. If I'm going to grow a tree, it should be 1 toward the center. So let's try that first. So we'll just do an order by on each of these. Now, I don't know that there is a target for the grow action. I don't think there is. So here's my action. When it's grow, it only has so many parts, and it takes the first part, and that part is the source, right? Target, source. So target. Yeah, I think that's what I want. So when we say grow, yeah, it'll be the second parameter. Second parameter will be, oh, that is the target. Okay, so it is the target. So, well, I may end up with a bug here, but let's just see what it does. I could write some tests for this, but we're gonna just go for it. So let's do that, and create our new complete grow strategy, and I think we said we were going to keep those all as targets. So target, and if these don't work, they'll blow up, so we'll know if that's a problem. All right, and let's just do a build. Okay, and then let's do our copy thing. So pull this up, regenerate it, copy it, and get back to the browser, paste it, and play it. And see if it blows up. Alright, we're not blowing up yet, that's good. And you can see we're marching toward the center, so that's useful. We're dropping things right into our own shadow, which is probably not ideal, but we're not dealing with shadows yet. Now, this guy, if he gets a chance to seed, he's going to throw it to there, which is what I want. Good. So I've captured the center. That's helpful. And then if I can grow in the center, I will. Now he's seeding the center faster than me, but not too much, not too badly. And I'm shading him, which is probably good. And now I've caught up to him on quantity in the center. And I got a big tree. I'd like to keep that big tree, but I'm going to probably harvest it right away, which is probably a bad idea. But let's see what the final score is here. I'll just jump to the end here. And I'm still getting crushed. 69 to 107. So what happened? I got in here, I lost the center, I cut down my big tree, cut down that big tree, and made another big tree and cut it down. And now I'm in trouble. I'm in the shade, I've got no money, no sun is coming. Now I get some more sun, but yeah, he's in better shape. And then he's just like harvest, harvest, done. Alright, so when there's only a couple of turns left, I should be just completing things, it seems. Alright, so if I know I have 119 turns, I probably want to have a check that says, hey, you know, if it's toward the game end, you should probably start getting rid of your trees, because I have this tree here that was worth some points, and I didn't even harvest it. And, 15 points, yeah. So we should complete trees later in the game, not earlier in the game. So, is there any reason, I guess if I have a certain number of trees, I want to get rid of them. So let's think about that. And again, we aren't yet up to the point where we're going to do a strategy that involves, line 236 has namespace in CodinGame. Line 236, I don't know which file you mean, Shady. I don't know, mine seems to be working, so I'm not trying to mess with it. Oh, on CodinGame, you mean in here, line 236. That one, I see what you're saying. Yeah, that's not bothering me. But I see what you're saying now. So I could go into class tree. Maybe that came from the template I'm using. Class tree, namespace. I gotcha. We can get rid of that. It won't hurt anything. There. Now we're happy. And let's just commit this. Clean up code. Implement basic complete grow seed strategy. Done. Push. Alright. So I think what I want to do is put off or set a limit to how many trees I want to have before I start completing them. So let's make a copy of this, because that one seems to just work. It's not great yet. Complete grow seed. Time-based, or how about with limits? With limits, action strategy. Okay, so before I was just going to complete it if I could, but really I don't want to do that. I only want to complete it if I have a certain number of them. Like I think I'd like to have like 2 trees until toward the end. So instead of just saying, hey, if there's any of these things, go ahead and do it. Let's think about that instead. Let's say if this is not null, then we want to say if, that's doing first or default. Let's switch that. Let's make that a where. Alright, so we probably could pull this out into its own method, in fact, because this is going to be should we complete anything. Okay, so this will be act equals complete a tree. Checks the game, and then we'll just refactor that out to its own method. Generate, and then by default it would be this. And so let's see. Actions equals game dot possible actions dot where they are completing a tree. And ordered by that. Alright, so there's my possible actions. In the right order. We'll just put a bar there. And when do I want to do this? Well, I think I would like to complete a tree in 2 scenarios. I want to complete a tree if turn is, well, if less than 10 turns remain, start completing trees, no matter what. So let's just do that one first. So we'll just say if game dot turn, what would that be? Or I guess it's day. If game dot day is greater than 110, let's say, return actions dot first. All right. Hopefully that's what day is going to end up equaling. And then we'll also do throughout the game, we'll say if number of this kind of tree greater than 2. Let's do that. So if, I guess I want to have another where. So extra trees, var extra trees equals actions dot where actions dot a dot. Do I have a tree, perhaps? How do I get to the tree? It's a complete action for a given cell. And my trees are on game. Use a plugin to code from the IDE copy and paste. I'm just copy pasting, but I am using sort of a plugin, which I mentioned. This is the CodinGame code compactor. And I chatted a link to it right here. And you can grab that, point it at your folder where your code is. And then once you have it running, it will look like this. So you just regenerate anytime you make a change, and it'll grab all your code, put it in one file, copy paste it into CodinGame, and you're good. It's the easiest way I've found to do it. Alright, so in here, back to where I was. Game has a list of trees. Trees have a certain location, and so I can go find the tree at the location, and then look for what? Its count, I guess? So what would be the easiest way to do this? I want to find, let's see, let's pull this into its own class while I'm thinking of it. And, right, and then I want this one. Alright, so I want to find, for the tree it wants me to do, which will be the first one, or I just want to filter out. I can filter out all the ones where the number of trees of that size, which is almost like a group by halving, right? So I could say extra trees equals actions dot group by with maybe a join. This is some tougher link that I don't usually do. Do I need to do a join? Actually, I think I do. Actions dot join inner key result. A comma T, like that. How do I do this? Correlates the elements of two sequences. I have a list of trees, and I have a list of actions, but I don't have a way to get a tree from an action. I wonder if I should just go and get the counts of trees separately before I get to this point. I kind of wish the action told me more, like had the tree that it was dealing with. Because now that I know it's a complete action, if I had a complete action as a subclass, I could just grab the tree off of it, and maybe that tree would have its count, and that would be a lot easier. Probably not the fastest code, but it would be easier to follow. Because I think I do want this to be my rule. At least I want to try it out. But coding it's kind of a pain. Let's see. Let's do the trees separately for now. Alright, so I've got a list of trees. And what I want to do is get a count of that kind of tree. So here's tree, and it has a size. And I really care that it's mine also. So it needs to be my trees. And I don't really care if they're dormant. So my trees of a given size. Right? So if we go back in here, and we could say var my trees, it's almost a dictionary, right? So it's a dictionary of size, comma, count. My tree counts equals new dictionary, and count is an int also. So it's not the right type there. But I want this to be size and count. Can we do a static function on a tree class? Game.count large tree. Yeah, I was thinking about count large trees, but I kind of want to get them all at once, which is where I was thinking about the dictionary. And yeah, I should pull it out of here because it doesn't belong here, but I think I could start it here and then move it. Okay, so then basically for each kind of tree, for rather, I equals 0, I less than 4, and let's say that this is size. So for size, yada yada yada, var tree count equals trees, game.trees, trees.count of t such that t dot is mine, and t dot size equals size. That's my count, right? And I can say my tree count sub size equals tree count. Okay. That gives me my tree counts, which I do once, so that's fairly efficient. Now in here, let's see, I want these to be actioned. So I want to say complete actions for excess trees equals actions where a such that a dot. I still gotta look up a tree by its target cell number. So let's see, do I have a tree? Does tree have a cell index? It does. So let's do a public static tree from location int in cell index comma trees, list of trees, enumerable trees. What is this thing in? Game has a list of trees. So I think I need to pass that into this. Or I could put it on game. That would also work. Let's do it from game. So on game, if you want to get a tree, why not get a tree from the game? So private tree from get tree from location int cell index return trees dot first or default using length t such that t dot cell index equals cell index. There. And get tree from location now comes back into here where I have a game. And I can say complete trees, give me the actions where I need a tree, right? So this is my action, comes into here. And I can say tree equals a equals game dot get tree. Okay, what did I call it? Game get tree from location, right? Tree dot count large trees. Yeah, okay, that's similar. This is game. Why is that not happy? Protection level? What? Why are you private? You don't need to be private. You can be public. Now, we've got a tree. Okay, so what are we doing with this tree? I can say where for that tree, tree dot, see my tree counts of tree dot type. This is ugly. Our count equals my tree counts sub tree dot size. And then we only want to bring this one back. Return, this is a boolean, so count greater than 2. Okay, so now that's all my trees. If I have one of those, I will return its first or default. So really this could have been a first or default. And this will be a complete action. And then here, we'll just return it. There. Alright, so all of that to say that we're going to do that, and then we're going to say that. Alright, so if we have copious number of those trees, or it's close to the end of the game, then we want to try and harvest that tree. Otherwise we'll try and grow something, otherwise we'll try and seed something. Let's try that. Alright, so we want to do this limit strategy, and we're going to go into game, and control D that, and paste that, and comment that, save that, and then go here, regenerate at almost 4 o'clock, and copy, and back into here, and paste that. Notice our namespace is gone. Yay. Good. And let's play the code. Is it just me, or does the voice sound very low? Maybe it's just you, but I have had that complaint before. But yeah, I think, let me see if I can bump up the volume any. Try now, is that better? No, it's not the right microphone, hang on. Try, no, it's already maxed. Alright, so that didn't matter. I can talk louder, but that's about the best I can do for you. Oh, you're saying it's fixed. Interesting. Well, alright, I'll leave the setting the way it was and see if that actually mattered. Okay, how are we doing here? Let's see, I get to the center. I take over the center. I keep a big tree there. I get another big tree. And I get another big tree, and then I harvest my center tree. That was probably a mistake. And then he plants there, but I get another big tree. And we're going. And then toward the end of this game, I'm supposed to start harvesting stuff, but it's expensive to harvest stuff. So maybe that's my problem, is I run out of money. Because right in here, I should be trying to harvest anything I can. And I'm not. I've got all these big trees still at the end. Like, this should be gone, this should be gone, this should be gone. There's some benefit to harvesting before the other guy, too. So what can I do about that? Let me think. So I could complete 8, I could complete 9. That's a location, right? So there's 8. So I could complete 8. Why would I not complete 8? So I don't have enough, and it's not, we're not close to the end yet. Okay. Alright, what did our final score end up being? 112 to 80. Alright, so I'm getting closer. I think my time wasn't enough. I think I need to harvest sooner. And let's compare my big trees to his big trees right here toward the end. So he's got one large tree left, which he probably harvests. Right there, yeah, so he's going to harvest all his big trees and have nothing left. And I've got still 2 big trees that I'm basically not getting any points for. So I need to start harvesting sooner. And his max big trees seems to be 3 also. So he's basically using the same threshold that I am. Okay. Now I probably want to use that same threshold for all the things, right? I probably don't want to grow more more than 3. Like just looking at him, the blue player, they've got 2 seeds and 3 seedlings, and right now just 1 size 2 tree. And that seems reasonable. So maybe I can do the same in my strategy. So let's come back to our code and let's keep playing with this. I haven't finished it yet because I've only done the complete strategy. I still have to do the grow and seed strategy. So I don't think I want to do those things. So this one becomes act equals grow a tree game and control. We'll just delete that. And let's just copy this one to start and call it grow a tree. And this is going to start off by saying give me all the actions that are grow actions. And I don't care how many turns are left so much. I do think I need to start selling sooner though, so we're going to make this 100 for that one. And then we're going to grow trees, but also base that based on how many of them are there of that size. But it won't be that size so much as size plus 1, right? Count of, yeah, so, and there won't be anyone on target. Well, no, that's for seeding. Okay, so the target one will be this tree. Let's say it's a seed. Which is 0. I'm thinking of growing it into a size 1. If I already have 3 size 1s, then I don't want to do it. Let me think. Did I do this backwards? No, this is right, but this one should be reversed. So this should be, I only want to match if the count is less than 3 currently of tree.size plus 1. Now I'm never going to have an issue where the size will be already 3 because that won't be an option for me. So I shouldn't need to check out of bounds here. But we'll see how that goes. Alright, so that'll do grow. What about seed? When should I seed a tree? Alright, so complete, if it's not null, return it. Grow, if it's not null, return it. Seed a tree, same deal. Complete, grow, and seed. Its rules are going to be the same. I just don't want to have too many seeds out there. So give me a count of, I really don't care about all the trees, do I? I will already have gotten a tree count, so I don't need to do this every time. So if I do the tree counting in somewhere else in the strategy, right up here, I could have a tree count field. Right, so this can be let's grab that. Here's my dictionary of underscore my tree counts. And under select action, since all these things use it, we'll just populate it there. Alright, so my tree counts becomes underscore my tree counts. So now we have the tree counts. We're good to go for everywhere. Don't need this anymore. And this becomes underscore. Don't need this anymore. And that becomes underscore. And then same thing here, I don't care about all these tree counts. I really just care about seedlings, which are size 1. So find me complete actions for, well, that needs a better name. This is grow trees without too many bigger trees, I guess. It's a long name, but try it. And down here we're going to do seed. I don't want that var, just want that. Down here we're going to seed a tree, we're going to say count of 1. So this is seedlings, and I don't need to check for that. right? Give me all the trees for the target. There won't be a tree in the target, so that's not really true. I really just want to get the count of all the trees, so I don't need tree here at all. And that means I don't really need this to be anything different. I can just say A such that yeah, this whole thing goes away actually. So it's really just a question of give me possible actions where I want to seed something, where the action is seed, order by this, blah blah blah. But I'm only going to do this if the count, so if my tree count sub1 is less than 3, then let's do this. And that means that if it's greater than or equal to 3, we can just guard clause this out of here. Return null. What does this mean? This means only plant. Oh wait, actually it should be 1, or 0 rather. It should be 0. Only plant seeds if we have fewer than 3. There we go. Otherwise we'll do that, and then we'll just return the correct action. So actions where order by, return, let's call this seed actions. Those are all the possible places I could throw seeds. We'll grab the first one because I've ordered them appropriately. So dot first or default. Alright. That looks right. Okay, so now if we come back to, so something was red here. That's not good. What am I doing there? That was me copy pasting. Let's go see what that looked like here real quick. So on the strategy, complete a tree. It was just return complete action, and that was a first or default, right? And so this one is a first or default, so that's what I want to return. So that's my thing, and I just didn't need that. Should be that. Alright. Let's see if we can build. Alright, so successful build, that means our code must all work. And regenerate this, copy it, go back to CodinGame, paste it in, and play my code. We're trying to beat 80. Replay in the same conditions this time. Alright, so what have we changed? We're going to limit how many seeds we plant, limit how many of each size of tree we have, and start harvesting when there's 20 turns left, and hope that that's enough. Somebody appreciates my humor. Okay, so what do we have going on here? We have lots of options, all kinds of seeds we can plant. We got to the center first, that makes me happy. Alright. I got 3 of the center spots, that's better than him. Let's just jump ahead a little bit here so this doesn't take quite so long. But I end up here with 3 big trees in the middle. That's good for me, which I'm going to start scoring. So now I'm ahead of him, now I'm behind him, now I'm ahead of him. And it's going to be so close. 91 to 108. Alright, so what happened here? He's got 4 seeds, so his limit is clearly different than mine. I've got 3. And I'm not taking into account anything to do with shade. And I wonder if he is. I wonder if he's causing me problems by causing me to be shaded. Because right now the sun's shining to the left, and all these things are in the shade of this one tree here. I feel like it's worth having the center, but like right now, all these trees here are just causing me problems. And I don't know that he Like, how often does that change, right? Like, now I'm totally in the sun and I'm fine. And then eventually, the reverse should happen, but I don't see myself shading him as much as he's shading me. So he must be taking that into account somehow. Hello, Keltha. Alright, he manages to take the center from me, and the center is just empty for a little while. Shade. Shadow size 2. 1, 2. Shadow size 1. Okay. Yeah, I don't know enough about how the shadows work. I gotta read the instructions on that more. So, sun and shadows. Each tree casts a shadow, a fixed number of cells based on its size, 1, 2, or 3 cells long. The direction of the shadow is the way the sun is pointing. In between each day the sun moves, yep. Helping the wood spirits are lesser. They will find the shadow of a spell spooky if any of the trees casting a shadow is of equal or greater size than the tree on that cell. Okay. So, spooky shadow there to there, but not a spooky shadow because this tree is taller. Okay, so equal to or greater than, though, means the big trees will shade and spookify other big trees. Medium, even if it's the last one, it's still going to be spooky. Alright, so if it's spooky, what does that mean? It means the forest will harvest sun points from every tree that is not hit by a spooky shadow. And then you'll get points based on the tree, 1, 2, or 3. Alright, so if I want to get a lot of sun points that gives me options to do stuff, then and how is he doing on sun compared to me? So if we look at this throughout the game, as we start up, it's hard to tell. So he's like 7 there, where I'm at 9, and he's at 7, 9, that's the same one. He's at 13 and I'm at 10, so he's getting more sun than me at this point. So why is that the case? He's got those 3 little trees on the edge, and really it seems like trees around the edge are less likely to be impacted by shadows, perhaps, because it goes both ways. The trees in the middle cast shadows in every direction, but they also get impacted by shadows from many directions, even though they have the richer soil. And the only reason I'm trying to optimize for those is because you get a small bonus when you complete them. But if I'm not completing them, it's not going to matter. Do I at least complete my big trees at the end? Boom, 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 yes. Yes, bam, bam. Yeah, but I'm still growing trees that aren't, which I guess maybe I have to? Like, why am I wasting time growing trees? What does he do here at the end? He's taking out his big trees. Bam, bam. Last 2 turns, he takes out these 2 big trees. And I'm basically doing the same thing, but I'm behind at that point. So he had 3 big trees at the end, and he manages to take them all out and complete them. So, complete 9, complete 10. Why am I not doing that? Why don't I complete 9 right now? Turned 114, what do? I say grow 3. Right, I've got complete 9 right here as an option, but instead of completing I say grow 3, which is this guy. So why would I grow 3 instead of completing 9? Because that would have helped me. So I should be doing a grow for sure. Alright, so let's look at that code again. So in here, let's see, selecting an action. First thing I'm going to do is grab the sizes. I'm going to say I want to complete this tree. When I go to complete a tree, I'm going to sort by just the complete actions ordered by cell index, right? So here, that should just be complete 9. These should be the only 2, 9 and 10, right? If there's fewer than 10 turns remaining, then return the first action, which should be complete 9. I don't know that this is working, but I think it is. Does it say the day anywhere in here? Day, round 22. Is round 22 the same as the day? I think it must be. But where am I at? Why am I at round 22 when it's showing me over here? Are these not synced up? That should be at round 112. Wait. Days are not the same as rounds. Shady's telling me round is day. Right. So why do I have 120 of these things? What are these turns? Because you can take multiple turns per day. That's the issue. Alright, so I want day. I don't want day to be less than what I'm saying. I want day to be closer to, what, 20? So I want day to be 20, let's say. So if game day is greater than 20, let's do that. And while we're at it, let's just print out what day it is. So on the choose action, which is where? In here, I print the possible actions, and I may as well print the day. It's not going to show me score, opponent is waiting, possible, yeah, it's not going to show me the round, it's only going to show me the day. But let's try that, and we made that change to this to make it so after day 20, we should start doing away with trees. That might do the trick to actually get me to win. You wait and he wait, then day finishes, right, yeah. And so the rounds are not deterministic. We could both just wait every turn on every day and we'd only have 23 rounds or whatever. But basically the sun is going to go around 4 full cycles, so 4 times 6 is 24. So on, it'll start at 0. So 20, 21, 22, 23, I'm going to have 4 full days to try and harvest things. That's probably about right. Let's try that. So back here, regenerate, copy, back here, select all, paste, replace in conditions. And it looks like I win. So now we get to day 17, day 18, 19, 20, and then I'm just like harvest, done. Why is my score -1? That's weird. Oh, I must have had an error. Uh-oh. That's not good. Oh, that's not good. Invalid operation. Yeah, okay. So I didn't actually win. I might have been gonna win, but line 138. Line 138. No. Complete limits. Complete a. This is hard to read. Does that help? No. There we go. Complete a tree on line 138. Select action on line 20. So no elements exception on first. So why am I doing first instead of first or default? I must have figured there must always have been something. So select action gets us in here. First or default right there. Oh, here. Actions.first. Alright, if there weren't any, then we ought not to do that. That's it. Alright. Easy fix. Regenerate. Copy. Come in here. Let's see if we do win. If we do it right. Replay. Alright. Go, CodinGame. Uh-oh, it looks like I lose. So I got it to here, and then at the end he's going to score, and I think he pulls it off, maybe? Let's find out. All the way to the end. Boom. Oh, so close. Alright. What happened here? So I got to this last day. It's day 20. Now I can complete things. And so I do. I complete that one. I only had one. No, I had two. Complete. Did I pull the trigger too soon? Is that the problem? And then all through this day and this day, what am I doing? Grow stuff. Still completing stuff. I mean, that's not bad. That's good. Alright, so what can I do better? I don't see how I can prevent him from getting his trees completed. There's no way for me to mess with him. It's just a question of how quickly I'm able to do it. And there's a small bonus for completing those central trees first. So if he gets this one, it helps him get a little more points than I get when I complete this one. Which might be enough to tip the scale. He's only 5 points ahead at the end. So, what's he complete here? These two? Yeah. And it's almost like we have all these extra trees that aren't doing anything for us. So the cost to complete, let's say, where's one of my trees? The cost to complete this tree, it's a size 3 tree. Let me go find the cost on things. So, complete. Where is it? Seed, grow, complete. Completing a tree requires 4. You can only complete the life cycle of size 3 trees. When you complete a size 4 tree, it only takes 4, right? So it's only the growing them that takes a lot of points. Once you've got them, you're in good shape. So it seems like there's no sense in me throwing out a lot of extra seeds when I could be growing. Like after a certain day, it's like there's no reason to throw seeds. You need to shift strategies toward the end. So I'm still throwing out a seed, and he is probably not. There, look, there's another seed. There's no reason for me to be throwing out seeds. I should be just trying to complete trees, growing and completing. When's the last time he throws a seed? It's hard to tell. He's doing a wait. He grows a tree. Yeah, so I think seeding, I should just stop seeding later. At a certain point, I can just shift strategies. So it's almost like I want to have a different strategy that I can swap in at a certain point in time. So right now we're saying after day 20, we just want to complete things, and then for growing, this rule goes right out the window, I think. And instead, after day 20, instead of sorting by target index, I want to sort by something else. I think. Yeah, I think after day 20, I don't care about target index anymore. Really, even after, maybe sooner than that. So let's say that's just a starting strategy. So we'll say if game.day is less than 10, then we'll do the sort. Let's see, what is this thing? Action, what type are you? A func of action comma int. Then we'll say func of action comma int sort, like that. Right. Come on, new namespace. Here we go. Okay, though if game day is less than 10, then sort equals this. Else sort equals what size? I should grow them based on how big they are, descending, right? Which is bad because I need to do an order by descending. How about if I just do a.size? Shoot, now I gotta look up the size. Alright, sort equals a such that give me this, give me the tree, var tree equals give me the tree, return 5 minus tree dot size. That should do it with a sort without me having to invert it. Alright, and you do that, and you do that, and you do sort. Okay, so what is this doing? So this should say, do the same thing you were always doing for the first 10 days, and try and grab the center real estate. But then, only grow trees based on their size, starting with the biggest trees. So when I do a sort ascending, a tree with a size of 2, 5 minus 2 should be 3, versus a tree with a size of 0, 5 minus 0 will be 5, so 3 should come first, so this should all work. Alright, and so let's see what that does. Regen, copy, and come over here and paste, and replay same conditions. Let's see if we can beat this instance of this bot one of these days. So I don't want to be throwing acorns in the end game, is the biggest takeaway here. And I want to be growing things so that I have something to complete toward the end. I'm losing again, I can tell, just by looking at this. So why am I losing? So I've got 44, I'm beating him. I got 64, I'm beating him. I got 109, I'm really beating him. But what happened? Where'd all my trees go? He's got the middle. And I've got, what, a dearth of sun? Is that what's hitting me here? So here we are at day 21. I can seed all kinds of things. I can complete stuff. I can grow a few things. So I choose to complete 32. Okay, and he completes 2. And then I'm waiting. Why am I waiting? Day 21. Wait. This was also, okay, so I finished out day 21. I only have 1 sun left. Alright, then day 21 ends. I have 5 whole sun points. And sun points carry over. Alright, he's got 11. So I can grow something, right? So I grow 26. That seems reasonable. But I'm never going to complete it, I don't think. So I get 5 sun points again, and I grow 16, this one. So why am I growing that instead of saving up to be able to grow one of these bigger ones? Because this is never going to help me to grow these little guys. But I don't have enough money to grow, and I'm done. Let's see, I wouldn't have had time to do it anyway, so I'm out of time. So the big issue here is I just don't have enough sun coming in. And these things, size 1 gives me 1 sun, size 2 gives me 2 sun. I wonder if size 2 trees I want to have more of to give me some more. I don't know. What does he have? He's got 3 1s, a 2. How does he have so much sun though? 12 and 16 sun. Is it because he's using shadows better than I am? It must be. I can't see. I haven't integrated shadows into how I'm designing things because I figure they just move around. But there's only, how many, 23 days here, so every shadow chance goes around, what, 6 times? Oh, this is frustrating. I'm beating him by a lot and then I let him catch up. What did I do? completed that tree, but it didn't give me any sun. So what else is he doing? He's not building his big trees near each other. That's the other thing I notice. So if we see, here they are, they're beside each other. There they're beside, okay, so maybe that's not really a thing. But if you build them next to each other, then they do tend to shadow each other. Like right here, this one's in a spooky shadow, so he can't get any sun from it because he built it next to itself. So he would have been better to seed something that was not in line, right? So if you jump from here to here to here, like that's a better play. If you follow the lines instead of the edges on the hex grid, that seems like that would make more sense. Because then you'll never be in shadow from one another. So I'd only risk being in shadow from him. So how would I eliminate ones that could be in shadow? Let's see. Anything that's exactly one more or less would be suspect. Anything 12 and 13, that's a lot harder to factor an algorithm for that location. Does he have a, the maker of the game, did he put in, I forget his name, anything for whether or not something is adjacent? Because it already tells us whether or not things are in range of the tree. I want things that are in range, but not adjacent, I think, typically. And if they're, even if I just say not adjacent, that helps. So maybe I order by distance. Okay, yeah, let's try and seed things that are farther away, if we can. So we'll come into our seed a tree, and we're going to order by target cell index, but first, let's do an order by the distance, but I don't know the distance. I have to calculate the distance, because they don't tell us those things. Alright, they just tell me 26 could seed 25. So here's 26, and it could seed 25. And that's a distance of 1, but it doesn't tell me that. 26 could also seed 12, but apparently not 3, right? Or could it? Where's 26, 3? I don't see it. 27 here. Can do 14, 11, 25, 13. Not there. What's the rules on seeding? I thought your range was equal to your size. Sun points, actions, spooky shadows, growing, just completing. 4 points for the completing. Get extra for sun points. Alright. Seed action. Sun points equal to number of seeds. Okay. You may not send a seed into an unusable cell. Okay. How far away can you seed though? That was the question. Within distance equal to the tree's size. Okay. So distance equal to the tree's size, I would think this thing has a size of 2. It should be able to throw a seed to here, 10. There already is 1. It should be able to throw a seed to here, 3. So why is there no seed 26, 3? Seems like it's size minus 1 is what it really is. I wonder if that's an error. Alright, like right here, this number 15 should be able to seed all over the place. 15 can do 18, 31, so there's 31, where's 18? There's 18. Okay, well that is 3, right? 15 to 18. 15, 14, 15, there's no 15, 18, is there? No, there is. Seed 5 to 18. Alright, that's 2. Right, let's just look at 5. 5 can go to 18, 13, 17. 18, 13, and 17. Also 14, also 31. 31, 14, yeah, that's only all a range of 2. So its range is less than I thought it was. Alright, so the range is only size minus 1, I think. Not what it says. The size is up to 3, yeah. So its range is minus 1. What does that tell me? That tells me I would like to favor ranges that are not adjacent. How do I know if something is adjacent? That's another challenge. I need a way to represent the map, which I don't have. Hi Tam Dragon, hello. So do you think if I avoid C, C++, I'm a bad programmer? No. You could be a bad programmer in any language. You could also be a good programmer in any language. Alright, so do I really want to figure out the map? Because that's going to be a pain. And that will take a while. I really want to say, try and seed things that aren't right next to me. Does it sort them by that already, I wonder? So in the order they come in, it says, hey, seed, is he sorted in any way at all? Like 6 is up there, and then 6 is down here. How does it decide this ordering? Are they always the same order? There's a lot of seed actions there. Gets to 5 and it's like 17, 18, 31, 12. But it already did 5 here and it already did 5 here. It seems like it randomizes them. Or at least I don't see what order they're in. Since C++ is hard, like I can't bother learning. The biggest challenge with C++ is pointers. Same with C. So if you do C# or Java, you don't have to worry about pointers. I was fortunate, I guess, to learn C and a little bit of C++ in college. But I can tell you I'm much more productive in C# because I don't have to worry about pointers and dereferencing pointers and all that. So C# and Java with managed runtimes for general business programming, they're way more productive. All right, so the question is, can I beat this bot? Let's test in the arena. Let's see how awful I am against everybody else while I think about this. Can I beat this bot without a search algorithm that actually does like Monte Carlo and just me hard coding my ideas of what makes sense? And B, can I do it without taking into account shadows directly and without knowing about the map directly? And so far, the answer seems to be no. I have not been able to beat this bot. I'm not doing very well against... Oh no, I am. I'm on this side. I'm blue. Sweet. All right. So I can beat a lot of other people, apparently. So that's something. But I can't beat the bot. Let's try... While that's going on, let's try playing my code with a different set of random starting locations. Maybe I do better some of the time. No, he beats me again. Get out to here. I'm way ahead at 121, and oh wait, no, I won. I won. Okay, maybe it's not as bad as I thought. Maybe let's try again. Maybe the outlier was just that one match. So if I play him enough times, then I generally win. Maybe that's good enough. Not this time though, I don't think. Let's see. 120. Wow, I'm way ahead of him. Dude, I crushed him. Okay. So here I start selling off, and that worked well. That's what I wanted to see. Boom, boom, boom. And then he can't catch me. Alright, well this is looking good. Watch my rank here at the top. Yeah, Shady, you think I'll be silver? Maybe. As the tournament keeps playing out, my rank keeps dropping, which is nice. All right, let's see what this one ends up at. I start selling, I get to 109. Is he gonna pull it off? He can't catch me. No. Okay, yeah, this is going better than I thought. I was feeling bad playing it under the same conditions over and over because I couldn't beat him. The cat boss. $110. Yeah, it seems like I get ahead. Like right about day 20, my threshold when I said, hey, I'm going to start selling. It says day 20 begins here, and I'm like complete, grow, and then complete, yeah. So then I just start selling off and pull way ahead, and then at that point, they have trouble catching up. All right, let's see what I need to see here. Battles in progress, 13%. That takes forever. Oh. This person does not do well. They managed to plant 2 trees. Alright. Let's see, who's beating me? I came in number 2 on that one. Let's see. There it is. Okay. So I'm red. I take the middle. And day 20 comes along somewhere in here. It doesn't show the day anywhere, does it? What does this mean? I don't know what that thing means. I get up to 83. I don't have that big of a lead. He just starts throwing out lots of seeds there somewhere, doesn't he? Up, seed. But then right there, he gets his bigger trees. Bam. Now I'm still ahead. And what does he do? Right there, he grabs that middle tree and just pulls it off at the end. It was close though. That was respectable. History. Battles. 15%. CodinGame needs to buy some more VMs, I think. Because this is going to take an hour. I don't have an hour. I want to keep trying different things, but I can't mess with it when this one might work. So what do I do in the meantime? I guess I should check in my code. That would be good. So let's go do that. So update strategy to take into account size, day, and count. Commit and push. Alright, what else could we be doing here? Am I still using bot.model? Where's that at? Thought we got rid of that. I must have accidentally pulled it into some other things like iStrategy. iStrategy, you don't need a namespace. And game. Guess you also have a namespace. I didn't think I needed a namespace. Watch, I'm going to break everything by pulling these out. But only some of these things have namespaces, so we shall see. Right. Sell. Still failing. Model. That's the namespace. Okay, that was good. So let's just do the remodel, refactor, remove namespace, commit, push. Alright, let's see if we get to silver. Last battles, 17%. but I went from like 1300 to 350. That's something. I seem to be beating. It's not showing me all of them, is it? Or is it just really going nuts slowly? Has it really only done 16 of these things? Come on, you gotta be faster than that. Those better than the boss will be promoted. Where am I? I guess this is in order. Around me? Okay, yeah, here we go. So, what does this number represent? That's like my aggregate score based on who I've beaten and who's beaten me or something like that. And I want that number to go up, it looks like. Alright. Vertigo, yeah, this is photosynthesis basically. It's based on the board game. They said I haven't played it, but it says here theme is based on Hjalmar Hock's excellent board game Photosynthesis, which is made by Blue Orange Games and looks something like that. Which I have not played. Yeah, that's cool. I'm big on board games, but I haven't played this one. You like it? It's good? Well, maybe if you play this CodinGame, you'll come up with some new strategies. Let's see, 273. Yeah. Shady, you may be right. I may be able to break into silver with this. Oh, hang on a sec. Hello. Alright, I figured out two things. One, I figured out that I'm actually using this microphone, so I should talk into that more. And I can, in fact, boost its gain to help the sound, which I think I did. Let me just double check though. Yeah, so it's fully up. So the sound should be fine. And nobody's been complaining since I adjusted that, so that's good. Secondly, the rank keeps going in the right direction, so that's good. 54 out of 3200 probably ought to get me to silver, and I pretty much beat Cat Boss every time. The question will be, how do I do against silver opponents and their bot? So 48. That was close, but I still beat him. This is usually how things go for me with these coding game things. Is I do all right with a customized strategy, but then when we get to where we could do a search-based strategy, then that's where I don't compete as well. So maybe we'll look at that. So what I'd like to do, perhaps here, come back to Solution Explorer. This was my strategy that I'm using now, based on counts and sizes. I am completing a tree. If the day is greater than or equal to 20, then I will always complete a tree if I can. Otherwise, I'll only complete extra trees. If I have more than 2 of this kind of tree, which will be the size 3 tree, then I will go ahead and do it. And yeah, that looks right. That looks right. Okay. So then I will complete it. So I'll always keep 2 for the whole game. If I can grow a tree, kind of the same deal, I will try and grow them toward the center of the map the first 9 days. And then after that, I will do, what was this doing? Based on the tree size. I'll try and grow the bigger trees. So I'll focus on growing the biggest trees I have first, rather than having lots of little seedlings and small trees. Yeah, that's for grow. And then for seed, what I want to do with seed, I only plant them if we have fewer than 3 seeds. So if I have already 3 seeds out there, I won't bother to plant seeds. Now, a couple things that I should do or think about for the next round. So, strategies to consider. First, don't seed next to my existing trees, because then they spooky shadow each other, which is bad. Thanks for the follow, Lassico13. The other one I was thinking of that I didn't write down before had to do with saving my money rather than seeding or growing toward the end. So like if it's day 21, don't seed, save the sun for grow and complete, right? If it's day 20 plus, let's say, right? Is there ever a reason why I'd want to be seeding things? And what does seeding cost? I can't remember. Rank 34. That's not bad. All right, so somewhere it's going to tell me how much a seed costs. I think it was just based on how many of them there are. Seed is that. I must have missed it. If you are seeding, man. Grow action, seed action. Here we go. Form a seed action, you need some points equal to the number of seeds you already own. Yeah, so it gets more and more expensive in sun points. If I already have 3 seeds out there and I want to plant a 4th one, it costs me 3 to do it. If I have none, it costs nothing. So I suppose I could seed things if they cost nothing. You must pay sun points equal to the number of seeds you already... I could do a land denial strategy. No, I can't, because as soon as I throw one, then that goes out the window. Alright. Number of seeds you already own in the forest. And then things become dormant. Okay. So there's no reason why I want to waste sun points on throwing out seeds late in the game. So the other thing I would want to do, save the sun for later, what would the algorithm for that be? Maybe just don't throw seeds after day 20. I mean, that's probably a sufficient one, so we can try that. I was thinking maybe the limit of seeds could change over time, but there's probably never a good reason for me to have more than 3 seeds, because that's just expensive in terms of sun for not a lot of benefit. Alright, let's see how we're doing. Last battles, still rank 34. 30%, that is so slow. But the boss is ranked blank. I don't know, 27 is less than the boss. So I just have to get above the boss. That's what we're going for. And I beat the boss almost every time, so I gotta believe I'm gonna make it. 32, getting closer. Got a couple more people beating me now. Let's see what this one did. How close was I? Wow, what happened here? I didn't do anything for a long time. And then, so they're at 0. They're red, I'm blue. What am I doing? Is it just because of shade? Yeah, I'm like shading myself and being shaded by red. So I'm not getting any sun. And now I'm shaded again. And I'm shaded again. Yeah, this adjacency thing is killing me. So I end up with a horrible score. He has twice my score. Wow. Okay. Definitely need to work on that adjacency. So where did I plant? If we come back here and we say, alright, we started out in those 2 spots. And we planted there and there, adjacent, which is fine. I have to do adjacent with that size of tree. Now why did I plant instead of growing? Well, because it was cheap. So I could have just saved up my money and grew bigger trees, which is what he's doing. Alright, so he's growing bigger trees before he's seeding. Now my grow action should happen first, but I will still seed because I don't have enough money to grow, is the problem. And I got money to throw seed. So I think I need to save my money and not bother trying to seed that early. Also, his number of seeds. Let's see what his max number of seeds is. He's got 1, he's got 2, never 3. There's 2. There's 1, 2. Yeah, he doesn't ever have more than 2. So when he throws his first seed, it costs him nothing. When he throws the second one, it costs him 1. Tossing a seed for a cost of 2 when I could have saved that 2 and turned it into a tree, that seems like a no-brainer for me to fix. So let's try that. We'll seed a tree. Let's just change this. Only plant if we have fewer than 3. Let's see. If I already have 3, I stop. I want this to be 2. If we have fewer than 2 existing ones, we'll do it. Okay, so let's try that too. So we're going to say added strategy notes. Reduce max number of seedlings when considering seeding. Commit. Alright, we could further refine that and say, depending on what day it is, throw seeds or not. Because maybe I want to get taller so I can throw them farther away before I will do it. Maybe that's an option to consider. But I don't want to change too much while I have a potentially winning bot going right now. Down to rank 29. So, where is the boss? The boss is there. So I think I'm going to beat the boss. Who else is beating me? Maybe it's only playing me against tougher opponents toward the end. Alright, so this Dayuk is beating me, and what's going on? I'm blue, and I take the center, and I have 3 seeds out, and I only see them throwing. They have big trees. They have lots of big trees, all next to each other. They only seem to throw 1 seed at a time, which is a valid strategy. And they're just holding on to that edge. And I've got the advantage, but he's actually growing a max of 4 big trees instead of 3, and he's getting lots more sun than I am. And then poof, he wins, but only barely. 113, 118. So, and he managed to get rid of all his trees. See that? He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 big trees. Boom, boom, boom. He sells them all right at the end. That was impressive. He barely beat me with that. Alright, 33 cat boss. I wish I knew what his rank was. So that's, I think I want to increase my max number of big trees. So when I'm growing a tree, sort by that, return, grow trees without too many bigger trees, return count less than 3. Is there any point in me having a lot of little trees? There's probably not. It's almost like I want count to be less than size plus 1, right? Same as this. Less than or equal to tree.size plus 1. So if tree.size is 0, then if I have I want all the trees where, yeah, that 3 can change. I think I want to have more bigger trees. That's what I want to go for. Let's try that. Alright, now that basically means I can have a max of 4 of the full-size trees, which seems reasonable. Alright, so we're going to tweak grow trees algorithm based on tree size. Alright, and let's go ahead and run this against at least the bot and see how it does while we're waiting. And then I'm going to wrap it up because it's after 5. So we'll take this and go refresh my code, copy it, come back to CodinGame where I am now ranked 33, paste that in and play it. Mm-hmm. 102. Ooh, I won, but barely. And what did that look like? How many big trees do I end up with? 3. I'm still playing all over right next to each other. I wonder if I can get that distance algorithm working. Am I red? Why do I have so many seeds? That's a bug. There's no way I should have that many seeds. Alright, so right there I'm going to seed something. I could have grown a 9. Where's 9? Could have grown 9. Or grow 7. Or grow 11. All those are seeds. Or I could throw seeds. But I shouldn't be throwing seeds beyond that number, should I? So I've screwed something up. Alright, so in here we have this out of the way. This tree size plus 1 I think is my problem. So tree, let's see. This is grow. I want to see seed. Seed says, only plant seeds if we have fewer than 2. My tree counts, so if my tree count sub 0 is greater than or equal to 2, return null. So my tree count sub 0 should be the number of seeds I have. And so I should never seed anything if we have more than that many. So why is that working that way? This is size 0, size 0, size 0. So somehow here, when I look at this game state and I say I have 3 size 0 trees, and a second ago I had, and now I have 4 size 0 trees, why would I ever do a seed action? If I have more, if I have 2 or more seeds, size 0, and let's go see how I filled that count. So here, size is 0, less than 4, size plus plus. Find me all the trees that are mine, and their size is equal to 0. My tree count sub 0 equals that count. That looks like it works. So how did that happen? So from 23 to 25, I decided to do seed 23, 25, which just happens to be the last one. So do I have something in here that said do the last action? I don't think I do. I have a last action strategy, but I'm not using it. That looks right. Current day. Current day is 11. On day 11, I just start throwing seeds for no reason. I still win, but it's way too close, and there's no reason for me to have that many seeds out there. Alright. And I seem to be topped out at that rank 33. Which is not enough to beat the boss. That's unfortunate. But I'm only at 36%, so maybe it'll keep going up. 32. Alright, it's just so slow. Come on, CodinGame. Pick it up. This is way too slow. I'm in the top 1% though, that's something. Alright, so how do I find this bug? I believe that is my count. I think I want to dump the counts out so I can verify it. So there's my select action. There's my count. Let's do a print counts. And that's all I need. Go here. And then we just say for each var item, var key in, this could be int key in underscore my tree counts. Let's do a console error, right line, tree sizes, counts, and we could do console error, right line, there we go. Can't convert int to int. Can't do it for each, can I? Oh, this needs to be dot keys. There we go. Alright, so let's see what that does. I'm going to print out the counts before I choose the action. When I print out the counts, I want to see tree sizes and their counts. There's the tree size, there's the count. That all looks fine. Regenerate, copy, Control A, Control V, play. Now the bug is still there, but the trick, ooh, I should have done same conditions. But alright, we'll see. Rank 30. Let's see how many seeds I plant. I am red. I have 3 already. That's too many. Alright, so let's see. Current day is 3. There's my 0, 3. Okay, so I have 3 of these things. Grow a thing. Alright, current day. When did I plant that one? Right there. Right there, I said, hey, my current day is 2. I have 2 of these seeds out there. Let's go ahead and throw another one. Alright, so size 0 had a count of 2. When size 0 has a count of 2, if 0 is greater than or equal to 2, we return null when it comes time to seed a tree. So maybe I screwed up this. So act equals seed a tree, that's null. Oh shoot, it's that. That's the problem. Okay. I forgot about that. Alright, it was the last. Okay. Way back in the early days, I was like, I should always do something if I can. And now I've decided differently. Now I've decided, you know what? Sometimes it's worth waiting and keeping that money for the next day. Keep the sons for the next day. So that's different. Alright, so that's an easy fix. Regenerate, copy, come in here, Control AV, play one more time. I'm going to be a lot more efficient with seeds now. I should only be seeding when there's 0 or 1, which means at most I'll have 2. And even that is probably more than I need. Alright, so bam, bam, couple seeds, and we get to the end and I'm crushing them again. That's better. Let's try this again. Two seeds, big trees, and just destroyed them. Good. Alright, I think I'm going to wrap this up. It's 5:15. I'm going to try one more of these, and I'm going to submit it into the arena again just for fun, and then maybe I'll check back in later tonight. But yeah, this is definitely crushing it. So let's do test an arena with this one as well. And so now I'm basically running in the arena twice, maybe, I guess? Or I don't know if it canceled the previous one. Cat Boss is down here, and I'm above Cat Boss, so I should definitely be getting into silver. So I will check on that, and then maybe we'll do another stream here later. But coders around me, I'm apparently the worst coder there is. I guess because I just submitted. So I'll have to wait for this to go through before I can see. Yeah, so it'll start climbing. So 655 is not terrible. Alright. Alright. That's all I got. So let's see if there's someone else over here that's maybe in English. That's me. No, English, Deutsch. I could try and send some folks over to somebody else. Let's see this. He's doing his. Is that even CodinGame? That's not even our CodinGame. No, I'm just going to end it. So thanks y'all for coming and hanging out with me. Hopefully this was interesting. This is the game that things are based on. So if you're into board games, you can pick up this game, and that's basically what this thing is doing. Keep an eye on me. You can feel free to follow me on CodinGame and see how I'm doing. I was up to rank like 30 or so before I resubmitted. And silver is open, which I should be in shortly. And I don't know. Good luck if you're playing, and thanks for watching. Bye.